Hello, welcome to the Subtle Sag. Today we're talking about the new moon in Cancer this Friday, July 5th at 6:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll give a general overview and pull an oracle card for the collective, then go into horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs. So if you find this video helpful, please like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Let's get started. So this new moon is hitting 14 degrees Cancer, which is associated with the Three of Cups in the tarot. If you're not familiar with decans, essentially this degree falls within a section of Cancer that is ruled by Mercury and referred to as the Lord of Abundance. So think eat, drink, and be merry. Overall, this is a pleasant space to gather and hold conversations with friends and family. Cancer is the moon child of the zodiac, so this lunation invites you to get cozy. And that doesn't mean sitting on the couch with a cup of hot cocoa, though that also works. But for me, especially with the other transits happening now, particularly Saturn retrograde, which will be in a trine with the moon on Saturday and then with the sun next week on the 11th. And I do have a video on Saturn retrograde posted, so check that out for more details. I also let you know what to expect about the retrograde based on your rising sign. But anyway, this is about recognizing and appreciating our comfort zones with the boundaries Saturn has helped us to establish, but then also becoming more aware of where the lines of our comfort zone start acting more as blockages or limitations, and just sitting with that for now. So Cancer is a water sign, and it has this lovely receptive quality, and it's also reflective as the home of the moon. So I think obviously manifest whatever you want whenever you want, but this is a really lovely new moon to go with the flow and just receive messages, especially by reading your body's reaction to external stimuli and by engaging in meaningful conversation. Now the moon in Cancer invites you to find your most comfortable space, whether that's with people you consider family or as far away from them as possible. Now, Cancer is known as a patriotic sign because home includes the homeland, and the new moon corresponds to the 4th of July weekend celebrations that some Americans are partaking in. But I feel like with everything going on this earth, this new moon is asking for us to remember that we're all human and to just tap into how we feel. So if you're around people you consider family, try to keep the conversations in the feeling space rather than the thinking space, if that makes sense. For example, instead of asking for people's opinions on politics, ask about the day-to-day things. Find out if your younger relatives are eating enough, if older folks are getting out and getting enough sunlight, taking care of their bodies, if people are putting up boundaries with work activities that drain their energy, and so on. Now, Venus is still in Cancer, and it's a little easier to have these caring and nurturing conversations with her support. And again, the moon will form a harmonic aspect to Saturn the next day. So there will be an overall sense of duty, especially to family this weekend. But again, we should be able to access the devotional part of ourselves and the self-control to perform acts of love with care for those around us, even if we may simultaneously be feeling an undercurrent of loneliness or disconnect. So I'm going to pull an oracle card for the collective, and then I'll go into the horoscopes for each of the 12 zodiac signs. Now for these horoscopes, I do invite you to check your sun, moon, and rising signs. Okay, so I'm pulling the oracle card from the Threads of Fate Oracle deck, Rose Edition. I love this deck. Just an overall message for the collective under this new moon in Cancer. Just pull one card. Okay, let's see. Hopefully that doesn't sound too loud. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, love. Oh, that's so precious. Okay, I'm just going to read this from the book. So let me find the page. One moment. Page 96. 7. Okay, love. This card is an invitation to examine love in all facets of your life. This is love of self, love of others, your healthy or not so healthy boundaries, your presence with others, your relationship with intimacy, if you feel seen and heard, passion, joy, and total responsibility. This card could signal a need to build a better relationship internally, or maybe with a partner, in your business or work life, or even towards a goal or hobby. It could also be a reminder that love is a choice. Sit with these questions. Do you actively work on your relationship with yourself? Do you feel you trust and respect yourself? If you have a partner, do you feel balance in the relationship? Do you feel balance in your friendships? How do you feel in your work environment? What is your relationship with passion? Do you make time for it? That's a typo in the book. What about with intimacy? Do you feel comfortable with it? Do you feel love avoidant or love addicted? What is your attachment style? How do you express love? A relationship with love in all its forms is always in motion and flux. When this card makes itself known to you, it simply means you should spend a day or two witnessing how love lives in your life. I feel like that could not be a more perfect message for this new moon. I also have some questions that I've included in the horoscopes that you can use as journal prompts, or if you're setting some intentions. So this is perfect. Okay, I hope that was a nurturing message for you. And now we're going to go into the horoscopes by zodiac sign. Again, check your sun, moon, and rising. Aries. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 4th house of home and family. So it is likely that you'll be gathering with family over the weekend or feeling some nostalgia around those relationships. Of course, with Saturn retrograde in your 12th house, he may be digging up dirt from the recesses of your mind. So if you have something resurface, just be mindful that there's a time and a place for every conversation. And Venus will nudge you to practice self-control and sacrifice your immediate needs for the sake of maintaining harmony in the moment. So any tension, with maternal figures in particular, should be handled with love and tact. You may be thinking about how comfortable you feel at home and around the people you call family. So if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be: what have you been sweeping under the rug when it comes to family? How constructive and collaborative are the relationships, and can you repair any fractures in them? And what is unspoken but could be cathartic if brought to the surface? Hello, Taurus. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 3rd house of siblings, local community, and communication. So it's possible you're trying out a new local spot over the weekend or hanging out with your brothers and sisters. Saturn is retrograde in your 11th house, so you might be taking space from friends right now to explore topics that pique your interest and differ from what you normally do within your friend group. This new moon may welcome in a heart-based conversation around boundaries or sacrifices within a group structure, or that may be something you're mulling over right now. So your act of self-care under this lunation might be to disengage from social media and television for the weekend. And if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be: how can you bring more care into your thoughts and conversations? And how does the content you engage with feed and nurture the version of yourself that you're building? Hello, Gemini. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 2nd house of self-worth and earning capacity. So you might be thinking about a new financial opportunity or seeking ways to earn more money. This is a good time to map out a conversation regarding a raise or revisit a business idea with Saturn retrograde in your 10th house of career and legacy. Now, your self-care act may be to write or listen to affirmations that build your self-confidence and remind you that you are worthy of all it is that you desire. If it makes sense for you, say yes to a simple guilty pleasure you've been denying yourself of, like a pint of that bougie ass ice cream at the grocery store or a full body massage, just for today. Now, if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be, where am I accepting less than I deserve and why? And what changes do I want to see in my career and or income in the next 6 months? Hello, Cancer. The Cancer new moon is happening in your first house of self, identity, appearance, mindset, and motivations. So you're invited to look at how you're giving and receiving care in your relationships and environment. Saturn is retrograde in your 9th house of foreign travel and culture, so you may be reflecting on how you show up in unfamiliar terrain and circumstances. With Venus in your sign right now, you have a lovely opportunity to practice diplomacy and thoughtfulness in your initial interactions with the people you meet. Your self-care act may be to embrace an experience that brings you out of your comfort zone but feels good in your body, such as tasting food from a type of cuisine you haven't tried, or participating in a dance class of a certain lineage or tradition. You could even find videos on YouTube to do this, or visiting a new type of spa, or participating in a certain beauty ritual if that's something that you haven't experienced before. Whatever allows you to appreciate something new that opens your mind to new means of comfort as well. So if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be, is my mindset keeping me in my comfort zone? How so? And what is the gentlest way for me to approach new situations that require engaging with the unfamiliar? Oh, and how can I expand my personal boundaries little by little over the next 6 months? Hello, Leo. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 12th house of self-undoing and spirituality. So I see the potential to discover something you never knew about your family history, because the 12th house also holds family secrets. So if you're around older relatives on this day, you should encourage storytelling, as they may drop some hidden gems for you. You also have Saturn trining from your 8th house of death and rebirth, debt and inheritance, and Neptune just stationed retrograde there yesterday. So your dreams may be another source of divine downloads right now. An act of self-care for you might be to get some extra sleep and just take note of any messages that come through your dreams, and try asking for any information you're seeking before you go to sleep. Also, if you have celestite, put that on your nightstand and see what happens. Now, if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be, what feels hidden from me that I want to inquire about? What inherited gifts do I need to nurture? Hello, Virgo. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 11th house of friends, so it's a good time for some festivities, especially if you're recovering from stress or tension from a relationship with Saturn retrograde in your 7th house of partnership. Your friends will be prepared to offer you nurturing conversation and objective advice right now. So an act of self-care for you under this lunation may be to call up a friend or have a group video chat if you can't meet up in person. You'll find comfort just knowing that you have that support available to you. Now, if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be, what do I appreciate about my friendships and what could be stronger? And how could I better prioritize building or sustaining friendships over the next 6 months? Hello, Libra. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 10th house of career and public image. So this is a good time to set goals for the next 6 months about how you want to structure your daily routine to minimize stress and present the best version of yourself. So this could be anything from scheduling breaks in your day to cook healthy meals and exercise, to creating time management systems. Now, the 10th house is also associated with the mother, so an act of self-care for you under this lunation could be to just call and check on yours and have that nurturing conversation and support. You could schedule a hair or nail appointment with her or another mom or maternal figure in your life to boost both of your confidence and to prepare you for the coming work week. Now, if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be, What career moves do you want to manifest over the next 6 months? What tools are at your disposal that you haven't tapped into yet? Can you delegate tasks to others who want to learn or to technology? And how can you eliminate distractions? Hello, Scorpio. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 9th house of foreign travel, religion, culture, and higher education. So you may get a new idea for a vacation that will make up for the potential lack of fun right now due to Saturn retrograde in your 5th house. Alternatively, you may be celebrating a child's news about college admissions this weekend and getting mentally prepared for them to leave the nest. So an act of self-care for you under this lunation is finding a new YouTube channel or a book centered around a culture or religion that you know very little about, or revisiting a nostalgic spot you used to frequent in college. If you are setting intentions, some questions around these may be, what part of the world would I love to explore, and what topics am I interested in learning about? Hello, Sagittarius. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 8th house of death and rebirth, debt, inheritance, and intimacy. So this could be a healing time to reminisce on late family members and do a ritual to honor them, because Saturn is also retrograde in your 4th house of family and roots. Now, if you have debt, it's a good day to map out a plan for repayment. And if you're planning to leave home and move in with a partner, which is something that I predicted in the Saturn retrograde horoscope, you can watch that video for more information. You could get a good lead on a real estate opportunity. An act of self-care for you could be sleeping in longer or going to bed earlier than usual under this lunation, or cooking a comfort meal with someone close to you in order to build intimacy with them. Now, if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be, am I satisfied with the intimacy in my relationship? And how am I honoring my ancestors? Hello, Capricorn. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 7th house of partnerships. So if you're planning a date, it is going to be a supportive time for an honest conversation. Saturn is retrograde in your 3rd house of communication, but Venus in Cancer should bring tact and understanding to any potential miscommunications. So an act of self-care for you could be carving out time for someone important to you. So if you have a partner, cook them a nurturing meal or take them to their favorite restaurant. You could give each other massages or share a bath so you can wash each other's backs. If you're single, just take yourself out and you may meet someone intriguing. Now, if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be, how do I want to see my relationship improve over the next 6 months? Or what qualities do I want my current or future partner to see and appreciate in me? Hello, Aquarius. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 6th house of duty, stress, daily routine, and health. So you may be looking into a new routine to organize your tasks or prioritize your health. Saturn is retrograde in your 2nd house of finances. So this routine could be centered around your money-making activities. You could be starting a new venture, doing unpaid work in hopes that it will turn into something profitable in the future, such as a YouTube channel that isn't yet monetized. But whatever your labor of love is, this lunation will help you carry it out dutifully and faithfully. So an act of self-care for you could be to cozy up with a pet if you have one, because the 6th house is also the house of small animals, or buy a new plant. Pets and plants are living entities that you nurture on a daily or semi-daily basis, and they bring some joy to your routine. So if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be, what can I incorporate daily to improve my physical, mental, and financial health? Hello, Pisces. The Cancer new moon is happening in your 5th house of fun, dating, and children. So you may meet someone interested in starting a fling if you take the opportunity to go out for some fun this weekend. You could also have a very honest conversation with someone that you're just chatting up, because Saturn is retrograde in your 1st house of self, identity, and mindset, And that still has you a bit reserved, but Venus is in Cancer facilitating our interactions, and that allows us to feel more comfortable opening up. Now, if you've been dating and things haven't been very transparent with someone, you could more easily get the clarity you're looking for by initiating a conversation on this day. So an act of self-care for you could be simply watching a movie, something nostalgic though. Like if you watch a show, watch reruns of something like Girlfriends. It's lighthearted. It's a reminder that dating is just notoriously a hot mess for everyone at times, and the most beautiful experience ever at other times. But that's my particular show that I rewatch. But whatever your Girlfriends is, watch it. Or listen to an album that you loved, like since high school, or something from the past that brings you joy. So if you're setting intentions, some questions around these may be, am I prioritizing play? And if not, how can I start to? Thank you for watching. Again, if this is helpful to you, put it in the comments, like, comment, share, subscribe. Also check out my Saturn retrograde video to get your horoscope for the duration of that retrograde. And yeah, also like that video as well. All right, I'll see you in the next one.